The easiest thing in our sport is to play selector without having actually to select teams. And that's what a lot of us have been doing with the rotation in the bowling that the selectors have been throwing at us. And in particular, the debate is about Ashwin and Jadeja. There's a reason the debate is about those two, because they've been magnificent for India over the years. But the World Cup of 2015 was almost sort of midpoint in assessing players and almost a milestone in looking at what players have done since. And if you look at the numbers for Ashwin and Jadeja, because eventually we must go back to numbers to support our case, to validate our case, and the numbers in this case are telling you a very straightforward story. You look at Ashwin, he's been the dominant limited overs spinner for India. He's been magnificent over the years. He's taken wickets decently. 17 from 15 games is not that bad for someone who's actually pretty much a support bowler in limited overs cricket. But if you look at his economy rates, his strike rates, those are all well above his normal career numbers. You then look back to Jadeja, because these were the two that Dhoni always turned to stop games. You look at Jadeja and the numbers are even more stark because he's not taking wickets. And suddenly you're looking at numbers in the 60s and 70s for strike rates and averages, and it's not looking particularly good, especially because you look at the wrist spinners and the numbers are very different. And I'm going to look at strike rates only, because strike rates tend to determine everything else. And one of the things that the Champions Trophy told us, that limited overs cricket everywhere on flat decks, 300 plus matches, is telling us, is that you have to take wickets in the middle overs. If you're not taking wickets in the middle overs, you've got set batsmen getting into 40 plus and then taking advantage of the final 10. So even if you look at Amit Mishra, 27. You look at Yajuvendra Chahal, you look at Kuldeep Yadav, strike rates 31, 35 in that region, which means they're constantly sending batsmen back. Now you might argue that the matches are too few compared to say someone like an Ashwin, but you're starting to see a trend here. They're sending people back. You look at a finger spinner like Akshar Patel, the economy rate is critical there, even if the strike rate is not quite the most determining factor, but that's pretty good too. And he's taking wickets too. So you look at the numbers with this crop of spinners, the three that have been picked, and the numbers are superior to Ashwin and Jadeja if you look at the period post 2015. Is it then the end of the road for Ashwin and Jadeja? I would strongly hazard against that. I would strongly advise against that, because these two have been match winners. You look at the numbers in the 4 years before that. Look at Ashwin, look at Jadeja. They've given you more than 100 wickets. They're giving you wickets in numbers about 33, 34, so the averages. So they're giving you wickets pretty quickly. Now, champion bowlers don't just die overnight. Champion bowlers might go through a bad patch, but they come back. And I'll be very, very surprised if in the build-up to 2019, we do not see the champion bowlers, Ashwin and Jadeja, being given an opportunity to come back and show why they are good. But there's one other factor that I suspect the Indian selectors are looking at, and that is that in England, the numbers for finger spinners and the numbers for wrist spinners are vastly different. Maybe it's because Adil Rashid has done well there, but wrist spinners are taking wickets much faster at much better rates than finger spinners are doing, and maybe the selectors think that's how it's going to be until 2019. So is it easy being a selector then? You've got 5 or 6 quality bowlers. Most teams would give an arm and a leg to get that. The World Cup of 2019 might well be determined by the bowlers, and I think that's why the selectors are so particular to give everybody a chance. So I foresee Ashwin and Jadeja getting their chances, but for the moment I think the selectors haven't done wrong.